Welcome back, everybody. Bruce Porter joins us now for this week's Dollars and Cents. Thank you for coming in. We're going to talk about retirement planning.
Yeah.
Once again. All right. So
hot topic.
It is a hot topic, and you always think that, you know, I got all this time, it's no big deal. And then all of a sudden you wake up and go, man, I wish I had a plan a little bit better.
That's right.
It's very important. And the younger, the better. It's never too late, however, to start planning properly. Yeah,
that's exactly right. I mean, pensions aren't there today.
They're not.
So we have to think early so we can plan, because it's all on us. We've got to plan our future.
Where do we start?
Well, let's look at the 4 P's of the planning process.
Okay.
So let's say we're ramping up to this magical date of retirement. Well, the first P we're going to talk about is going to be protection. So that can take a big, broad definition. My first question is, okay, what are we going to protect? What do you, I mean, you want to protect your balance? Do you want to protect your income? Do you want to protect your estate? Your assets, your legacy? What is it that we're trying to protect?
Maybe all of the above.
We need to be thinking about that, because the protection question becomes a major part of the overall planning process. We move on to the next one, the production of an investment return. A rate of return it has to be obtained in order to produce what we're going to need in retirement, which is income.
You got to have income, because if you're going to retire and not work anymore, you got to have money coming in somewhere.
Well, and then the question becomes, how much risk, or at what cost, are we wanting to take to obtain a certain rate of return? What's your expectation of growth? And you know, the expectation of growth is going to be different for a lot of people. Well, I just want to make 4 or 5% and call it good. And I just want to pull out 4 or 5%, so I should be okay. That's fine until your needs change.
Yeah.
As we age, our expenses go up.
Yeah, and you have to do the math to make sure that the amount you have coming in and the amount you have going out aren't going to drain you completely dry before it's all.
That's right. Which brings up preservation. So when we talk about preservation, okay, so if we preserve the balance for as long as possible, that's going to preserve the income or the ability to draw income. Wouldn't that be right? So early in retirement, if we don't go crazy and buy a new car and buy a new boat and buy a condo and take 5 vacations.
Take the family around the world,
and spend a bunch of our money. And then as we age later in life, boy, I wished I hadn't spent all that early, so I've got more to rely on down the road. So preservation of the balance can create a preservation of the ability or the actual income itself down the road.
Yeah, and people are living longer, so you got to account for that.
Absolutely, and then passing on the legacy. So if you think about it, if we want to pass on the legacy, which some people do, some people don't, if we protect as much of our balance and our income ability, and we produce a rate of return, then it's going to preserve our assets for as long as possible. So because there are roadblocks during this whole process of retirement, so if we don't live longer than we expect, that's the #1 thing people are realizing, is we're living longer than we expect to live. Our cost of living is eating up our money, and it's causing us to take more income. If we apply all of this to a plan initially, it's going to help us structure a sound and secure retirement plan. It all makes sense.
Yeah, and you do have to think that through, because like you said, some people really don't want to pass along. They want to use it. They want to enjoy it. Some people want to make a little bit of a nest egg for their children. Other people might want to leave a little bit of money to their alma mater or a charity or something.
Problem is, we don't know when we're going to die. And so I want to spend all my money. I don't want to leave anything. All right. Well, just let me write down when you're going to die.
Yeah. What day are you talking?
This so that we spend all your money and we max out all your credit cards the day before you die.
Ever have anybody come in and tell you that? This is my day.
So
be a little bit concerned about
the problem. If I live longer and my health holds and my family doesn't need anything and long-term care is not a problem, then I'm going to be okay. But all of those types of roadblocks are what really deter us from our actual plan that maybe we set up at 55, 60 when we're older or younger in retirement. But boy, life happens and things change. So as all that happens, then we have to be prepared to some extent.
Yes, you do.
Preservation of balance, preservation of income, it goes a long ways towards planning a very healthy retirement.